By using the Invicti product, we probably saved ourselves in that first year alone £150,000. I'm Brian Brackenborough. I'm the Chief Information Security Officer for Channel 4 Television in the UK. And our role is to ensure that everything that we do is obviously done safely and that we have to protect the data that we collect, which at the moment is roughly about 26 million all-4 viewers, as well of course of the data of all of the staff and their next of kin, and of course all of our intellectual property as well. We originally discovered Invicti, I think, many years ago, maybe 2015, maybe even earlier, at InfoSec in Europe. Previous to that, any penetration tests that we were doing, we were always using a third party, and we were spending in the region of about £150,000 to £250,000 a year just in doing those tests. So by finding the Invicti product, what we were able to do was make a determination about how important those particular websites were, whether they were collecting personally identifiable information, and if not, use Invicti instead of a third party. And we were using those third parties because we wanted that accountability. We wanted to be able to demonstrate it's not just us that says that your data is safe and secure, it's also the third party that would be CREST certified. So by using the Invicti product, we probably saved ourselves in that first year alone £150,000. So we use Invicti at Channel 4 to do vulnerability and pen test scans for some of the websites where we don't have personally identifiable information, or for one-offs when we're doing new shows for dramas, or for some of the other TV shows that we're releasing either on linear platforms, which is Channel 4 or E4, or on our online platform, All4. What we've discovered by using the Invicti product is that it makes things a lot easier for the life cycle of any particular project where we can actually utilize it. So we can start doing penetration or vulnerability scans against systems at certain milestones of the project to make sure that it stays on track. And that makes our lives a lot easier rather than getting to the end of the project, then running a vulnerability or penetration test and realizing there are weaknesses and then having to go back to redesign or redevelop that. By doing it during the milestones, it keeps us on point and allows us to ensure that we're delivering those projects on budget and on time. So I think I may have mentioned earlier the fact that prior to using Invicti, we were always using a third-party company to do our penetration tests, which we still do in certain circumstances. However, a lot of the time it was overkill. We were finding we would do a penetration test, we would get the results, we'd then have to fix it, we'd then have to pay for another penetration test, and that could be quite a cycle depending on how complicated the particular project was. So a £250,000 budget, which we were spending every year on penetration testing, came down more or less immediately to £100,000, and then the following year down to £50,000. Now, of course, that can be down to a number of reasons, the number of websites or the amount of development we're doing in a particular year. But mostly the reason for that was the more sites we were doing, we didn't need to go externally. We could fire up Invicti, we could run the tests as often as we liked, and we could deal with the results and mitigate to our heart's content and just make sure that we stayed on time and on budget.